It's me. It's Maggie Grace. This is my second video. Today I decided to pull out my nice camera and record. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah. No more webcam for this girl. It's Friday. I don't know if it's Friday for you, depending on when I actually edit this thing and put it up. It's Friday for me, and I had an awesome week this week. I worked out a few times, had a few good hair days. I'm almost done with my online class. I think I read 5 books this week, and I only have 3 more to go. This week was also extremely awesome because of the annual book sale. I just moved to Boise, but the first day we got here, I pretty much went to the public library to get my public library card. Let me tell you, I've never lived in a place with a good public library. They told me that Boise has an annual public library sale where they sell books for 50 cents, or you can stuff as many books as you can for $9 into a bag. So we went yesterday morning and it was a little crazy. In fact, there was actual security guards present, and I was like, that seems a little extreme. At one point I heard this old lady saying, "She stole my book out of my basket." So people were like snatching each other's books. There are thousands of books and there are thousands of people, and you had almost no room. You were just basically stuck to one part of the bookshelf until the person to your left moved further down. Once you committed to one section, you were committed to stay there for the whole 45 minutes until you got through the end. So much pressure to like pick a book. If I saw anything good, I was like, I better grab it because she's gonna grab it if I don't. Anyways, it was crazy. But I stuffed my bag with as many books as I could fit, and I fit a lot of them. So here's what I got. Seating Arrangements by Maggie Shipstead. Maggie Power, yo. I read a past book by her about ballet. So I saw this and it was in very good condition, so I got it. I've heard great things about this book. This Is Where I Leave You by Jonathan Troper, and so I got it. The public library also had this awesome thing where they bound books together by author, so you could get multiple books by the same author for super cheap. And one thing you might need to know about me if we're gonna booktube together is that I am a huge nerd when it comes to Michael Crichton. I have read every single one of Michael Crichton's books, and they're awesome. I love them. I firmly believe that Michael Crichton is one of the best writers of this generation. I pretty much read at least one of these a year. So I got 3 of these. Then I was feeling like once I'm done with this whole young adult class thing, I need to jump into adult fiction. So I picked up this book from the mystery section. It has great things to be said in the front. I always think a book has to be good if there are pages and pages in the beginning of a claim, and this one does. Also, it says winner of the Nobel Prize, so I'm gonna take a chance on it and see what happens. I love Junot Diaz, so I got The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde, because I've never read this, but I've read This Is How You Lose Her. And I'm really excited to read this. I love Junot Diaz. I read him in my first fiction workshop I ever took, and it transformed me as a writer. And I'm really excited to read it. This was another one of those books I just grabbed from the bookshelf. I committed to it just by reaching a hand out. That's pretty much what you had to do. If you were grabbing it, you were gonna buy it. So I got Bee Season because it's about spelling bees, and it's about a woman named Eliza who okay, so it's about a girl named Eliza who's told by her teachers that she's a slow learner, and then, much to everybody's surprise, she wins a spelling bee and it changes her life. So I love spelling bees. I was really bad at them in school, but I like to think I would always win a spelling bee, and I didn't, but I'm excited to read this. I highly recommend Cutting for Stone. This book is one of my favorites that I've ever read. It's definitely in my top 25 books I've ever read. Cutting for Stone is about a set of twins who are born in Ethiopia. Their mother dies in childbirth and their father is a surgeon. He abandons the sons and moves to America. And the story is amazing. Ugh, I'm gonna have to reread it, but I read this on my Kindle. So I saw the physical copy and was like, I need this in my bookshelf. Whoops. I saw this book at the shelf and I was like, hey, I know that name, Jojo Moyes. And I've never heard of this novel, so it must be something from her earlier days because I've read a lot of her recent stuff. It sounds interesting. It seems like maybe it's a little more fantastical. So I don't know, we'll see. But I love Jojo Moyes. Me Before You was one of my favorite books. So I'm excited to read this one. You know how last time I said that I judge books by their cover? Well, I judged this book by its cover and it looks good and I liked the big font and the bright colors. So I picked it out and yeah. I wanted to make sure in this whole book buying thing, stuffing books in my bag, that there were at least some that I grabbed because I'd never heard of them, and I love the feeling of just picking out a random book and being surprised that it's wonderful. More often than not, when I randomly pick a book, they're going to be bad, but sometimes they surprise you, and that's one of my favorite book experiences, is being surprised by books I've never ever heard of. So this was one of them. I'd never ever heard of it, and I hope it's good. This is one of those books I have heard of being really good, and I saw it, and it was in pristine condition, so I got it, The Tiger's Wife, and it seems okay. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, now this book. Just like Cutting for Stone, this easily makes my top 25. I read The Roundhouse in one of my creative writing workshops last year, and this book was like the saving grace to my semester. I was reading horrible things that whole semester that I did not like, and this book, being assigned to this book, changed that whole semester for me. It reminded me why I loved reading and writing and why I loved my program. I can't recommend this book enough. My friend Jess Tholmer read it at my recommendation and said she loved it, so I kind of know what I'm talking about because Jess Tholmer has the best taste on the planet. And now I own it in the hardback copy. It was one of the very last things I saw at the end as I was running to check out, and I just grabbed it. I didn't think twice. I was like, I could use another copy and I could use it in the hardcover. Now let me just tell you, a couple weeks ago during Boise's Treefort Music Festival, we're new to Boise, so we don't exactly know all the venues, and we walked into what we thought was the Knitting Factory, but it was the Egyptian Theater, and there was a book signing happening and reading, and we walked in and there were these cute little girls at a table with a bunch of Lisa C. books, and I was like, this doesn't seem like a music festival venue. And we start walking, and I'm about to burst through the doors into the theater when they go, wait, this is a book author signing, you can't go in here. And as it turns out, I almost crashed Lisa C.'s author book reading. Whoops. But I've never read this book. I have read Snowflower and The Secret Fan before by Lisa C., and it was phenomenal. I love literature about Asian women in the early 19th century. So I'm excited to read this one because I've heard good things about Shanghai Girls, and I guess we'll see. When I was checking out, the girl told me that she loved this book and it's one of her favorites. And I've heard great things about A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, so I got it. In the end, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 books. 10 and 5, 15 books. $49, so it was a good day. I might go back, I might not, because there's nothing like the kind of pressure to just pick books at a whim. It was an insane amount of pressure. Also, something else I really need to say is thank you for watching my last YouTube video, which wasn't very good, but you guys all liked it, and a couple days later I was getting super excited about this YouTube process. I got this weird email from YouTube saying that my custom URL was available. So now I have my own custom URL, which is crazy, and I have no idea why they would give me a custom URL. But I'm so excited about it, because that means this thing is kind of more for real, and it means I'm gonna have to keep making videos since I have an easy URL to get to now. So thank you so much for watching, and thanks for being a part of this booktube experiment with me. I love this community already. I found like 12 booktubers last week that I love. So, thank you. Bye.